You know, when I was 20, I was mowing yards in the hot sun in between classes at the University of Hawaii. It was then that something happened that radically changed the entire trajectory of my life. Here I was taking care of a landscaping job for an estate built on a cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean in Honolulu, Hawaii. I mean, this place was straight out of a luxury lifestyle magazine. The owners had all the nice stuff, right? The cars, the entertainment systems, the amazing backyard, the pool, the jacuzzi, the waterfall, all of that stuff. I mean, it's hard to describe how amazing this place was without actually showing you. And when I saw the owners, they looked at and acted like they were multi-millionaires. And here I was pushing a lawnmower, weeding, trimming bushes in 90-degree hot, humid weather. And at the time, I so wanted their life. I mean, that's what I kept telling myself, right? I kept saying, John, one day this will be you. John, this is why you're out here in this hot, humid weather, pushing this lawnmower in between classes. But what I found out changed everything. It's an absolute game changer in my life. In fact, it gives me goosebumps to tell this story even today. I realized that the owners of the most beautiful properties I worked on, I learned that most of those owners were either flat broke, living paycheck to paycheck, or one commission check away from going under. I mean, it was staggering. I could not believe it. They were broke. And in this case, this house I was telling you about, I hadn't seen the owners for a while. And the reason was, get this, they were in hiding from creditors. In fact, they were hiding in the wife's sister's basement, hiding from creditors. And at that moment, that's when everything shifted for me and in my life. It was like it's hard to describe. It was like an awakening that just went off in my mind and changed everything. And I'm just so glad I had that experience. And at that moment, like I remember it yesterday, that's when I made the absolute commitment to be financially free by the time I hit 40 years old. And I knew that was a very bold goal, but I also knew that nothing was going to get in my way. And what happened? I ended up hitting my mark at age 37, 3 years ahead of schedule. And let me just be clear, by financially free, I'm not talking about flying my private jet to some chalet in Switzerland. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is breaking the cycle and never having to work for a paycheck again. In other words, living life on my own terms. And by the way, this is really important you understand this. This had nothing to do with my education, my financial literacy, or any of those external factors that so many people think they need mistakenly to achieve the financial life they desire. So stay with me. This is going to be a fun episode, and I think you're going to get a lot out of this. Hi, welcome to another episode of Wired for Wealth, guiding you to achieve lasting financial freedom and peace of mind. I'm your host, John MacGregor, your antidote to your financial struggles. And if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Ring that bell below and hit subscribe. And by the way, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. It really helps me develop new content. All right, so let's dig in. The big idea is this. You are one decision away from changing your life, period. One decision, and everything you've always wanted in your life can be yours. I can assure you of that. Your circumstances do not matter. Anyone can absolutely achieve the financial life they desire and frankly, they deserve. I have personally witnessed over the now 27 years of working with over 5,000 individuals, entrepreneurs, and small business owners. I personally witnessed some of the worst situations and I've seen them turn their entire life around. And look, without even knowing you, I know you have what it takes regardless of your income, your education, your job status. You can achieve the financial life you desire. If, and here's the big if, number one, you're gonna hear me say this often because it's the key to your transformation. If you embrace an effective and proven process that works, let me say that again. You embrace a proven and effective process that works. And number two, you take action. Process and action. That's it. As simple as it sounds. When you study any successful individuals, people you know, people you've heard of, you boil it down. They used a process that works, they followed the recipe, and then they took action. And then they kept doing that. They kept following the process and they kept moving forward. But the word I want you to focus on right now is compassion. And I say this because this is a time of compassion. Some of you who are watching this right now know that living a life with financial confidence comes with a purpose because compassion and purpose go hand in hand. Does that make sense? But many of you are focused on what I call shoulding. Even as I speak, what I mean by that is some of you are telling yourselves, I should have taken hold of my financial situation sooner. I should have watched my spending closer. I should have been putting money away for the future. And now you're feeling guilty about it, right? But compassion starts with forgiving yourself first to become the person that you're supposed to be. You've got to let it go. You can't change the past, but you can change the direction of where you go today, tomorrow, and every day that follows. But here's the problem I see speaking around the world. Everyone wants a quick fix. And I get these questions all the time from the attendees at these events. For example, John, what do you think of commercial real estate? Should I get into it? What about day trading? How do you feel about multi-level marketing? And now it's Bitcoin, right? And they run off and they spend thousands of dollars on these programs expecting something magical is gonna happen. Now look, I am not attacking any of those programs, not at all. Many are loaded with great information and taught by great teachers. The problem is that most people are not mentally prepared to take on the work that's needed in order for those programs to work. So what invariably happens is they get home, they're all excited about this new program they purchased. It's gonna make them rich. After all, that's what they were promised, right? And they get home, there's a box full of DVDs and workbooks, hoping and praying that something will just jump out and rain cash all over their kitchen table. Maybe they open a DVD or two, but that's typically it. That's typically where it ends. Days and weeks go by, and soon thereafter, this hope in a box, as I call it, is pushed aside and no longer looked at. Now, here's the problem. As opposed to feeling hopeful, confident, and in control of their lives, they're even more depressed than they were before. They feel like they failed once again. It had nothing to do with the program. What happened was that nothing happened inside. Nothing changed inside. I mean, deep inside them. Nothing changed from the standpoint of their willingness to really put in the effort and just really go for it. All those barriers that have been holding them back were still there. They never overcome the obstacles that were holding them back mentally. They didn't understand or unblock the barriers that have always been holding them back. They never realized their why, meaning they didn't really take the time to uncover their true purpose. All they wanted was to get rich. And I will tell you, if your goal is to get rich, that will almost never happen. Getting rich is a byproduct of finding your passion and living with purpose. They never took the time to really understand how they were living and who they were spending time with. And that will never support the ultimate goal, which is what most people have, which is living a life on your own terms. Does that make sense? They never incorporated rituals or daily habits to put themselves in a position to thrive in life. And lastly, they never embraced mentorship from those people around them who are successful. They all thought they could do this on their own. That's why those programs never worked. And that's why 78% of working adults are living paycheck to paycheck. That's why 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 18 months. That's why 1% of businesses never do $1 million. It's all up here. That's the paradigm shift. That's what all those other programs miss. Most people are not mentally prepared to take on those programs. That's the difference. You have the greatest power, and that's the power of choice. Your financial life is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. It's your choice. You have what it takes right now to live an amazing life and not work for a paycheck, not live the rest of your life working for somebody else. It all starts up here. You need to truly understand at a deep level what's holding you back, your true purpose, the awareness of your current life and how that will not get you what you want. You need to incorporate your daily rituals and hands-on mentorship. And when I look back and I study my life and so many others who are thriving, those 5 things that I just mentioned are the common thread that's propelled people forward. And that's what enabled me to live a life on my own terms, stop working for a paycheck to paycheck, be financially free at age 37. Without those 5 things, sadly, you will likely continue to tread water. And I've seen it far too often and for far too long. Don't fall for mediocrity. Make this a priority and you can have whatever it is you want in life. That I guarantee. So let me know your thoughts on this. Challenge me. I'd love to hear that. And I'll leave you with this thought, an idea to take advantage of. I just released my latest Money Masterclass, and I would encourage you to check it out. In it, I lay out your primary reason why you're struggling and dealing with financial stress and anxiety and just your overall financial problems. And then I lay out a course of action to get you what you desire. It's definitely worth an hour of your time, and it's free. The link will be in the description below. So until next time, upward and onward, take care. Bye-bye.